Despite these precautions, danger never disappeared entirely. Contaminated drinks could still be consumed accidentally, causing illness or death. Families relied on observation, memory, and intuition to determine which beverages were safe. A household with children, pregnant women, and elderly members faced constant vigilance. Every sip mattered. Every drop counted. Survival was fragile, precarious, and never guaranteed. The most surprising fact is that children frequently drank weak beer as a daily source of hydration. Adults relied on a combination of beer, wine, and mead not only for energy and nutrition, but also for safety from disease. Water, the most basic and natural source of life, was paradoxically the most dangerous. The very element we take for granted could kill, while fermented beverages preserved life. It's a startling reversal that highlights the extreme conditions of medieval life and the ingenuity people needed to survive. This adaptation shaped medieval society in profound ways. Community. Have you ever wondered what people drank before modern plumbing made water safe? Imagine a world where a simple sip from a river or well could make you sick or even kill you. In medieval Europe, clean drinking water was rare and the risks were terrifying. But people didn't simply go thirsty, they adapted in ways that might surprise you. What did they really drink to survive? And how did these drinks shape their daily lives? In this video, we're going to uncover the shocking truth behind the liquids medieval Europeans relied on. You'll discover the surprising drinks that replaced water, how they kept entire communities alive, and the strange, sometimes dangerous choices people made just to stay hydrated. By the end, you'll see the Middle Ages in a whole new light, a world where survival wasn't just about food, but about every drop of liquid you dared to drink. Water was scarce and often deadly. Cities and villages in medieval Europe were built without any form of modern sanitation, and the dangers were everywhere. Rivers, wells, and even rainwater could easily be contaminated with human or animal waste. Open sewers ran through towns, carrying filth directly past homes. Drinking water directly from these sources was not a minor risk. It could and often did lead to devastating illnesses such as dysentery, cholera, and typhoid. Entire communities could be wiped out in a matter of weeks, leaving streets empty and homes abandoned. In such a world, water, the most basic necessity of life, became a hidden killer. People quickly learned that what they considered the most natural source of hydration could easily claim lives, often without warning. So, what did they drink instead? The answer may surprise you. One of the most common and safest alternatives was beer, but not the kind we enjoy today. In the Middle Ages, adults and even children drank what was called small beer, a weak, low-alcohol version designed to be consumed daily. Unlike water, beer underwent a boiling and fermentation process that effectively killed harmful bacteria, making it safer than drinking directly from rivers or wells. For families, it was a lifeline. Small beer not only hydrated the body, but also provided essential calories, minerals, and nutrients that were often difficult to obtain from food alone. Children grew up drinking it daily, and adults relied on it as a staple to sustain long days of labor in the fields or workshops. In a sense, small beer was more than a beverage, it was a tool for survival. A drink that allowed people to thrive despite the ever-present threats lurking in their environment. Beer permeated every aspect of daily life. It flowed through households, markets, and festivals. Work in the fields demanded energy, and a mug of small beer provided both hydration and a modest boost of calories. Brewing itself became a central activity in households and monasteries alike. Monks, often the most skilled brewers, meticulously controlled the fermentation process to ensure a safe, nutritious beverage. Grain selection, timing, and storage were critical, and the knowledge of how to produce a reliable brew was passed down through generations. This craft wasn't merely a tradition. It was essential for the survival of entire communities. Sharing beer became a social ritual, strengthening bonds while ensuring safety from disease. Wine also played a critical role, though it was more prevalent in wealthier households. To make it suitable for daily consumption, wine was often watered down. The alcohol content, while moderate, had a crucial function. It killed bacteria and prevented spoilage, effectively creating a drinkable liquid that could last for weeks or months. Unlike small beer, wine held social and cultural significance. It was a symbol of status and sophistication, served at feasts, weddings, and religious ceremonies. But behind this cultural veneer lay a practical purpose. Families depended on wine not just for celebration but for survival. Even diluted, it provided hydration, calories, and some protection from illness in a world where clean water was almost impossible to find. Wine production, carefully tended vineyards, and storage in barrels or clay amphorae became essential knowledge for sustaining life beyond beer and wine. Other fermented beverages provided variety, nutrition, and safety. Mead, made from fermented honey, was popular in regions where bees were plentiful, while cider, derived from apples, was a staple in areas with abundant orchards. Fermentation was a clever natural solution. It preserved liquids, reduced harmful pathogens, and allowed people to consume safe drinks year-round. Sometimes these drinks were flavored with herbs or spices, showing that medieval people cared about taste even in times of survival. Communities relied on small-scale production in homes or workshops, creating a local economy that revolved around beverages essential for life. Non-alcoholic drinks existed as well, though they were less common and carried higher risks. Herbal infusions made from boiling leaves, roots, and flowers served multiple purposes: hydration, nutrition, and medicine. Broths made from boiling bones, meat, or grains were consumed as both food and drink, especially during harsh winters when solid food. The reliance on fermented and carefully prepared drinks shaped daily life in profound ways. Children grew up accustomed to weak beer, gaining both nutrition and resilience. Adults relied on a combination of beer, wine, mead, and herbal infusions to survive long working hours. The elderly drank cautiously, often relying on herbal teas to soothe ailments or provide hydration. This adaptation was not cultural window dressing, it was a life-or-death necessity. Brewing and preparation became central activities, and local economies evolved around the production and trade of beverages. Brewers, winemakers, and herbalists were as crucial as farmers, bakers, and blacksmiths in sustaining the community. Drinking habits also influenced diet, health, and social structure. Children raised on small beer developed different tolerances and nutritional profiles than children in later centuries. Adults moderated alcohol intake, diluting it for safety. Communal drinking fostered social cohesion, strengthened family bonds, and reinforced societal norms. Religious institutions monitored wine use, ensuring that sacred practices did not conflict with daily survival. In short, the seemingly simple act of drinking shaped the health, culture, and survival strategies of entire populations. These beverages also served as primitive medicine. Small beer was sometimes used to soothe minor digestive complaints, while herbal teas were brewed for colds, fevers, and pain relief. Wine could act as an antiseptic, preserving herbs or cleansing wounds. Alcohol helped calm anxiety and discomfort in a world without doctors or modern medicine. In this sense, drinking was not simply a matter of pleasure or sustenance. It was a calculated tool in the battle for survival. Knowledge of how to prepare, store, and consume liquids safely became an essential skill passed through generations. Even minor details mattered. Water could sometimes be every sip tells a story. From small beer in a child's cup to watered-down wine at a household gathering, medieval drinks were intertwined with survival, culture, and social structure. Their ingenuity reminds us that basic necessities, water, food, shelter, are often the most complex to manage in a dangerous environment. In the end, medieval drinking habits teach us about human resilience, adaptation, and innovation. Life was not easy, and the simplest act of hydration required knowledge, observation, and skill. Every choice could mean life or death. Next time you pour a glass of water, remember those who had to rely on fermented drinks, herbal infusions, and carefully prepared broths to survive. Every sip mattered, and every drink shaped their lives in ways we are only beginning to appreciate. The most surprising fact: for children, weak beer was considered safe, even necessary. Adults relied on a combination of beer, wine, and mead not just for nutrition but for hydration. Water, the most natural liquid, was often more dangerous than any alcoholic drink. The very thing we think of as essential could kill, while fermented liquids saved lives. It's a reversal of what we consider normal today, a shocking fact that illustrates the extreme conditions of medieval life. This adaptation shaped medieval society in profound ways. Communities organized around drink production. Social customs revolved around consumption. Survival was tied to knowledge of safe liquids. People developed a keen understanding of fermentation, boiling, and preservation. What might seem like strange habits to us were actually advanced survival strategies honed over centuries. By understanding these practices, we gain a window into the resilience, ingenuity, and daily struggles of medieval Europeans. They didn't just survive, they thrived in a world that could easily have killed them. Their drinks